Hey everybody, welcome to the Extra Flick Show. I'm Shawn, and today we're going to be doing something a little different. Austin's been having a steel cage match with his internet this week, so he won't be able to be here. But I'm going to take a page out of Ryan Airy and Doug's book, and I've got my dog Maya here to give her insight on the news. We'll see how that works out. Let's get into it. Alright, so the first thing I wanted to talk about was the rumors that the Sony Spider-Man Universe is on hold. Alright, so basically, insider Daniel RPK has rumored that projects like the Null-centered film and other non-Spider-Man, Spider-Man adjacent movies and projects are on pause. So, you know, Morbius, Madam Web, Craven, those kind of things, they all did horrible. And so the movies like that are currently on a hold, movies and projects. Hopefully, I don't believe that includes the Nicolas Cage thing. I'm pretty sure that's still good. And as far as I know, Brand New Day and Spider-Verse are still fine. I believe this is just the Spider-Man adjacent stuff. So, it's going to be really interesting to see what happens with this. It's just rumors right now. We don't know that this is officially true. So we'll see. But also right now, there's this whole thing going on of rumors of Sony being interested in purchasing Warner Brother Discovery's streaming and studios division, which includes their DC Universe, Harry Potter, Game of Thrones, and a whole bunch of other stuff. So that would be a huge amount of IP for them to gain at once. They would not have to juggle the rights of Spider-Man. Let's say they got rid of Spider-Man. They wouldn't have to juggle the rights with Marvel, where, you know, they're constantly trying to figure out how to make Spider-Man work without Spider-Man. If they had the entire DC universe, they could do whatever they want. Spider-Man would go back to Marvel, and Marvel could do whatever they want. So it would be a really good situation on paper for both companies. Now, one concern with a lot of people is, you know, if Sony can't handle the Spider-Man universe, how can they handle an entire DC universe? But maybe having full reign and full control would make a difference. And especially if they just keep letting James Gunn continue with what he's doing. So I think that's the best way forward, is to let's see where a few movies go within the James Gunn, Peter Safran DCU. And then, okay, if that doesn't work out, then you restart again. But that's really going to hurt your brand. You can't just keep rebooting. So it'd be interesting to see what they do. Meanwhile, for Brand New Day, John Bernthal is supposedly officially in Brand New Day, so we're still not sure how that's going to work out, what kind of storyline they're working out. But we do know that he desires for the Punisher to remain gritty and at least that R-rated feel. I mean, it may not be rated R, but at least if it's a little grittier and you don't lose the aspects of the Punisher, you know. And I don't think he would have agreed to do the movie if he thought that was going to happen, because he really cares about the character, and he's helping write the Punisher special presentation that they're making for the Disney Plus. So he clearly has interest in making sure that character gets represented properly. So that's exciting to know. And then also there's a bunch of rumors that the Hulk could be in this movie. Recently, Brett Pollock accidentally leaked on his Pinterest board. He had it set to public, and he had a bunch of images. They're not concept art or anything like that. Nothing official concept art. Just images he's gathered from around the internet and stuff like that, where they use artists and writers and people behind the scenes. They use these as mood boards so that they can get a general feel. We can have this is what so everybody can be on the same page. With the feeling and where the story's going. So that's interesting. We're still, those rumors have not gone away yet about the Hulk. So we'll see if we're going to be dealing with the Punisher and the Hulk in this new Spider-Man. On top of, it's so crazy. It's just so hard to deal with the Spider-Man stuff sometimes because it's so stressful. It's like all this good news, but then you got all that other stuff where they're like, oh, the rights. Oh, it's kind of terrifying. I don't know. What do you think about all this, Maya? How do you feel about just all this up in the air? Awesome. Well, I'm going to have to teach you how to talk because I don't know. Anyways, let's move on to the next thing. We have Denis Villeneuve has been confirmed by Deadline and Variety to be directing the next Bond movie for Amazon MGM. So he's officially signed a one-film deal, and he will not have the final cut, which is, I guess, a Bond tradition. So that's interesting. I don't know how directors feel about that, but it's a choice. This will be the first time they've had such a marquee director, auteur, taking the reins. So we can expect kind of possibly a darker, cerebral Bond. Probably along the lines of what we got to see in Daniel Craig's Bond. Hopefully they kind of stick with that. Production begins after Villeneuve wraps with Dune, so no worries if you're concerned that he wasn't going to finish that. He's not going to start this until after Dune Part 3. There's no casting. They still haven't figured out who's going to be James Bond yet, but there's a bunch of names being thrown around. Recently, I heard that Tom Holland was being thrown around. I hate that. I don't think that's a good idea at all. I like Tom Holland. I don't think he's James Bond. I'd rather see Aaron Taylor Johnson than Tom Holland personally. It's just something about the look. I don't know. I don't think Bond should be a little kid, and Tom Holland, even though he's getting older, he's still very youthful looking, and I just don't think that's the look. I didn't really like the look with the Nathan Drake thing. I don't really see it for Bond. Hopefully the people in charge agree. You don't just put a name in there. You have to have it has to work. It's not about the name. Name helps, but it's not the most important thing. So yeah, this F1, man, big surprise. I guess it's not a surprise. Globally, this has made $144 million this week. Made, I think, 57 million domestically, and it is just killing. It looks like I haven't watched a lot of racing movies, to be honest with you. I loved Days of Thunder back in the day, but I don't watch a lot of racing movies. Not really a big racing fan. But Brad Pitt looks like he does a great job in this. You have what is his name? Damson Idris is the rookie driver in this, and these are all awesome actors. It looks like they did some really cool stuff to get the filming, and internationally, F1 is very popular. So I'm not surprised that it did so much money internationally. Meanwhile, though, we have Megan 2.0 also released last week. This is the second installment. And not doing so well. About $10 million domestically. I think maybe 16 or something internationally, globally, So yeah, not great. It definitely a step down from their first movie, how it did in the opening week. But yeah, I mean, this is not a horror movie. They went a totally different direction with this series, and I think it hurt them. I think a big part of the first one was the horror aspects of it. You know, the Chucky. You got a lot of Chucky comparisons. You know, this second one, it ain't it. I mean, it's okay. It's an okay movie, but it's not a horror movie, and it certainly has nothing to do with where the first one was going. It's really disappointing that they chose to go in such a radical direction. You know. Yeah. So, Maya, what did you think about the way the way they did Megan? I agree. Yeah. So, all right. Well, let's go check out Akira. Oh man, I am a huge Akira fan. I've always been. This was one of my first forays into anime. Back in the day, I had a copy that I got from a cousin, and it was just one of my prized possessions for the longest time. I'm pretty sure I still have it, but it's a VHS copy, and if I can find it in storage, I don't even have a VHS player anymore. So the big news here with this is that Warner Brothers has lost the rights to make a live action movie, and they've had these for a long time. It looks like the rights have been reverted back to Kodansha, which is the company that published the original manga. And yeah, Taika Waititi was supposed to be working on one, and supposedly they were getting close to production in the late 2010s, but scheduling conflicts and creative hesitations shelved the project. I don't know what that means. I'm kind of glad that maybe I don't know. I'm up in the air about which projects Taika Waititi should work on because I love certain projects he does, and then others I don't know where what he was doing. So I mean, honestly, really the only I'll say the major one that threw me off was Thor: Love and Thunder. Most of his other movies are pretty good. So I don't know what the deal was, why he couldn't come up with a good story, or not a good story, but come up with a good treatment for it. So it's kind of weird. But this is a great anime. If you've never seen it, you should check it out. The film was directed by Katsuhiro Otomo, who is the creator of Akira. So it was really cool that he did the manga and he also did the movie. So it's a little bit different than the manga's story arc, but it's an amazing story and such cool animation. I mean, this was cutting edge. I mean, I still, to this day, it's still my favorite anime, and a lot of the stuff I see today doesn't make that same impact when I watch it. It's just not the same. I don't know, old guy yelling at clouds, but Akira is always going to be the goat. So, kind of. I don't know how I feel about a live action because the animated's so good anyways. So maybe it's better that it's not going to be made. I don't know. It would be kind of cool to see a really good live action version of it, though. I'm not gonna lie. If somebody could do justice for it, okay, let's do it. I don't know. It doesn't. You don't ruin the legacy of the original things just because you make another version that sucks. I don't think that that's how it works. You can't ruin my childhood just because you create another version of something that I don't like. I still can watch the other one. It doesn't ruin my childhood. I always thought that was the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard of. You ruined my childhood. Wow. Sorry, your childhood's so fragile. Anyways, next thing I wanted to talk about was the rumors, or okay, it's not, I guess this is not a rumor. Apparently, FX is nearing a pilot order of Very Young Frankenstein. What that means is they haven't officially greenlit the show, but they have asked for a single episode, and if they like it, then they'll begin production on the full series. Mel Brooks is involved as an executive producer, and you have the What We Do in the Shadows alums, Stephanie Robinson, and Taika Waititi comes up again. And, What We Do in the Shadows is one of those things that he did that was very good. A lot of people like myself enjoy that quite a bit. So this could be good. This could be bad. I don't know. I'm super excited about the Spaceballs 2 thing because I feel like it's kind of part of the joke, right? The merchandising, the sequels. If you're making fun of Star Wars, you got to make fun of the sequels things. That's sort of the way it goes. So that to me makes a lot of sense. It's logical. It's going to be great. Very Young Frankenstein. I don't know. I'm assuming. At first, I actually thought, "What are we doing? A prequel?" And I couldn't understand that. But then, as I started thinking about it, and I talked about it with Austin a little bit, I started thinking that it could be that it's later on. This is like after that. It could be a sequel, right? Maybe it's a child. I mean, at the end of the other one, Frankenstein's brain was in the monster. So maybe it's the child of the monster, and the wife. I don't know. I mean, it could be funny. I don't love the idea of it because I love Young Frankenstein. It's one of my top movies ever. I don't know. Maya, what do you think about this? Okay, well, I see. So yeah, you're tired. So all right, well, I don't know. If they do make one, let's hope it's funny. This is all getting kind of scary that Mel Brooks is going to be 100 by the time Spaceballs 2 comes out, and they're talking about doing this project. I just don't know how many of these things he's going to be able to do. I hope he can keep going. So we'll see what happens. But anyways, that's really all I have to talk about for today. Hopefully in a couple of days, Austin's internet will get straightened out. And we were planning on possibly doing a full spoiler discussion about Megan 2.0, talk about the highs and lows of that movie. So if we can get that going, we'll drop that later on in the week. And otherwise, for discussions, we'll be back next week again. In the interim, I usually put out some stuff during the week about different stuff. So please like and subscribe, and leave a comment. Let me know, what do you think about all this crazy stuff that's going on? Is all the business side ruining Hollywood? Can we just have movies? I don't know. We'll see what happens. Maya, what's the final word? I feel you. All right, everybody. Have a great day. We'll see you next time.